When I came home, and we had, you know, talked before we went, adjustment problems maybe, how you're going to adjust to life in Africa and all the things. For me, that went almost without ripple. I mean, there was some things happening, but it really went easy. Coming home, readjusting to the States was much harder on me.
And this I've talked to many Peace Corps kids. It's when they come back, they can't look at the U.S. the same way, because they're actually going to look at it from a different set of eyes.
But in coming back to the States with the Vietnam War running, and I remember almost immediately seeing grass huts being burned on TV. And you didn't see TV in the thing. You know, the soldiers putting their Zippo lighters. I had lived in grass huts. I mean, these are people's homes. I mean, how could this be going on?
I mean, I'm patriotic. I mean, I love the United States, but I love the planet too. I love the world, and I mean, they're all important. It's not the United States better or most important. I mean, it's my home. Most of the people, more people I love are Americans, but we need to think internationally. I mean, that's the effect I think what the Peace Corps had on me. That was that we need the United Nations. We need global concepts. We need to think globally. We need to try to see the whole picture. And that scares me because so many politicians, so many friends I have, well, they haven't had my experiences, and I guess it's probably hard to see globally when you live in one town all your life. I mean, I think that's probably a hard thing.
So, I'm living in Orange County, literally across the freeway from Disneyland, and working in this factory. And 3 of my students get admitted to San Luis Obispo Polytechnic College here in California from Tanzania. So they come to visit me in Orange County. And I'm in this apartment house, and I talked to the manager about I'll need one of these fold-up beds. The place had a couple beds in it, but I needed one more. And so that's arranged, and they come. And we go out to see Disneyland and Knott's Berry Farm, just basic, the tourist things in Orange County. And we come back probably 10 and 11 o'clock in the evening and go into the apartment, and all the furniture's gone. Nothing is there. And I'm going, what the heck is happening? Well, it turns out that he can't stand the fact that there's Africans, or Negroes as they were called at the time, there. And so he's got other people in the place to help move all this furniture out. I mean, this was a bunch of the people in these apartment houses. You know, and I'd never had any differences with them, any of the people at all there. You know, I didn't really know all of them, but I'm mortified. And I can remember sort of screaming kind of incoherently, you know, these are not even Americans. This is you know, an embarrassment to our country. These are foreign citizens. As if though that made any difference. I mean, I had forgotten, I knew America well enough to know that this is, and Orange County is a very conservative area, but it's just something that wasn't done. But I'd forgotten. It never even occurred to me.
No, I was just buried in a book for the longest time. I didn't want to go out. Just seeing a drinking fountain was novel. The telephones were now, they weren't dial anymore, they were push buttons. So I walked up to a telephone, didn't know how to use the damn thing. So here I'm coming back home, but yet it wasn't coming back home. It lasted for about, I'd say for about 6-8 months. You know, I was just reclusive. I'd go to work or whatever, taking classes, but I wasn't participating in life, so to speak, for some period of time.
Well, right away when I came back, I had a little culture shock. Yeah. Things were so different. You know, I had changed, and so I couldn't deal with that. And I just dropped out of school, and I went back to my mom and dad's ranch down there, and I spent 2 weeks just working hard for my dad and kind of walking, you know, spending time out on the farm, quiet time. Finally, my dad said, "Well, son, what are you going to do? You know, I mean, you're here, and it's okay, and I appreciate it. You better look for a job." And so, yeah, I guess I should.
It's just such a shock. Again, the U.S. is so easy to live in, and you're coming from where you have all these little challenges. To coming back, it's so anticlimactic to come back.
So I was out of sync with my class, and I got back, and found it very difficult to plug in to student life. And of course, after that exotic experience, I mean, this is not a great mystery, but it was very difficult. You know, and it's sometimes when I ruminate back on it, I think it has continued to haunt me forever.
And it was hard for me to readjust to the easiness of life here in the States, in the sense that I would be learning, meeting new students on campus, and they would have a problem. They would be, "Oh, I don't think my boyfriend likes me," and they'd be all upset. My first reaction was, "You don't have a problem. You're perfect. You've got everything. You don't have a problem. If you're alive, you're okay." A problem is when your kid's dying of disease, you got no water. You got to walk a couple miles to get water. You've got to, I mean, the life and death closeness in Africa that life was there.
And you come back here, and there's so much affluence.
But I can remember in that job in Orange County, you know, talking to other engineers, just saying, you know, you don't know how wealthy you are. You know, you cannot imagine. You got more things than you could ever, than most people would ever dream of having in a lifetime. And of course, you know, you're talking to the moon. I mean, they don't. I mean, it's not their fault. They just have no experience of how much stuff we have compared to other places in the world.
I went to visit a good friend, and I'm sure that I must have really pissed him off on our first visit, because he's a very affluent person, and lots of clothes and all that kind of stuff, nice cars and all that kind of stuff, and it was just such a difference that I made lots of comments that I know he's forgiven me for now, but you know.